Happy Friday, Adam.
Happy Friday, Minhua. Oh my God, so much is going on right now.
I know. This is
Bonkers.
our first recorded Zoom. Shall we introduce ourselves?
Yes, I think that would make sense. So, do you want me to start?
Yes, go ahead.
So, my name is Adam Barreto. I am a mortgage loan officer, NMLS number 1034324. And I will be giving perspective from the lender side. Yeah.
My name is Minhua Gu. I am a real estate agent and realtor with Movoto Inc. And my license number is 02006489. I'm mostly in the Great Los Angeles area.
Awesome. I think the benefit of a lender is that we're everywhere. But yes, I'm in the LA County area as well.
Oh, okay. But are you a California chartered, or I know there are different
Well, I'm
layers?
licensed. I'm licensed in 7 states. So,
Mm-mm.
but I think for the sake of this information, we're going to stick to California.
Mm-hmm.
So the states I cover are Washington, California, Oregon, Arizona, Idaho, Georgia, and Texas. So licensed in 7 states. But I think for the sake of narrowing down the information, I think it's best to probably focus on
Mm-hmm.
California specifically for me.
Okay, understand. Similar to a lot of brokerage, a lot of people possibly heard of. They're pretty much nationwide, but every agent has a more specialized area. We do help people with relocation and refer them to the local agent who's more familiar with the local condition. So if somebody who is looking for move outside of California, we, uh, including me, uh, Movoto and I can definitely still help.
Very nice.
Yeah, I know a lot of it is going on. I have some questions for you. I know you have some questions for me from your clients. I have some questions for you from my clients as well. Do you want to start with your questions?
So just to sort of let everybody know, like what this is about, like why we're doing this. Obviously, the coronavirus is hitting everybody, and we're all quarantining, and this has actually given us a great opportunity to give information about real estate and real estate and mortgages and stuff like that. And so I think the whole purpose, and correct me if I'm wrong, Minhua, is to really give everyone insight of what's going on in the current real estate market during this pandemic that we're dealing with, right?
Yes, absolutely. I
Okay.
think, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna sort of dive into some questions. I don't know if you lost me right there, but I think you blanked out for a second. So
Oh, okay. I can
you
see you
know,
now and hear you good.
awesome. So obviously there's a lot going on with the pandemic, and so you know I'm just sort of, I think a lot of my clients are just wondering, the ones that are in still able to, how can they buy or sell their homes with essentially the shelter ordinance in place?
Mm-mm. So I think last week when the shelter in place ordinance just took effect, the real estate industry is not exempt from the ordinance. Then the California Association of Realtors worked with the governor's office, and right now our industry is exempt, meaning the professionals who work in the industry, including mortgage lenders, real estate agents, can conduct business, of course, under certain conditions that we still try to be safe, be healthy, and make sure our client is safe and healthy at the moment when we are working with them. So I think a blanket statement is that you can actually go to view home you are interested in, just try to use common sense, but also use all the recommendations CDC has put out and other authorities have put out and make sure you are not violating any ordinance or any local orders or restrictions. The same applies to the seller as well. However, this current situation really shifted how we do our business. And a lot of some of the part of the business was online a while ago, or conducted digitally a while ago. So now almost the entire process can be conducted online or digitally. So I possibly mentioned to you before, a lot of the listings set up the 3D virtual tour. So the buyers can actually see the space three-dimensionally. You can see the floor plan three-dimensionally. You can see each space or each room from wall to wall and ceiling to floor three-dimensionally as well. And I think just today or yesterday, we also have the open house virtual tour now. So you can also go to an open house, virtual open house as well, to see the space, I think, during a certain time when the open house is open. And a lot of us being creative, and a lot of us did, for example, Facebook Live open house to invite potential buyers to see the home via the live streaming service. So they will be able to see what the property is like. So all the other process, to sign documents, to put in offer, you possibly already know you can do it through many different online platforms. You don't really have to set out of the door. You can always talk to your agent on the phone, via FaceTime, via Zoom, via Facebook, all the different medias or platforms to have a very through communication. So if anybody say you can't reach me, I almost want to say that's a lie. Everybody, especially people in our industry, is very reachable.
Very nice, very nice. So now that we know that we can still buy houses, right, and we can still sell houses, like, how's the market looking right now?
The market really has shifted almost on a, I can't say on a daily basis, but on a, I want to say 2 to 3 day basis. So I think early on during the health crisis, some of us do feel that the market is insulated. Oh, by the way, this is just, I always say I can't predict the market. So this is just my observation. It's not even any prediction or yeah, or even an expert opinion. It's really just my observation from what I have read from other expert opinions and what I have experienced with my own clients. So then later on, we really felt the market will be affected, especially the high-end market, those over $1 million home sector. And there are also competing forces to protect the market. As we mentioned, the interest rate has dropped even before the health crisis. So that usually encourage people to re-enter the market or enter the market. Then we also have a lot of people who try to protect their asset from more risky investment vehicles such as stocks. So they now want to look at a long-term investment such as a property, a real property, or a safe place to park their cash. A lot of people are also holding a great amount of cash in hand, maybe in their mattress or in their bank. So they are looking for a safer place to park that cash, still with some return. I can definitely voucher that real property definitely has a better return of your cash in comparison to keeping your cash in the bank. So those are two major competing forces to help the market and to protect the market. And today, I think we have some more data from the overseas market that's recovered, one of the major market that's recovered is the Chinese market.
Mm-hmm.
So what overseas market has experienced is a very quick snapback. So once there's no new active cases, things literally went back like this. So right now, people feel that the duration of this crisis actually is the one common. Well, there are also a lot of different theories, but this is one common indicator everybody feels. So the longer the crisis is, the deeper the impact will be, and the shorter the duration is, the less impact we will feel. So everybody stay home to hopefully help we spread out the peak and make the duration of the crisis a little bit shorter.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Very cool. That's good to know. Yeah, I mean, those are probably the top two questions that my clients have right now. I think that they're, the ones that, like I said, are able to still purchase or considering selling are definitely, there's just so much in the air right now. And I think those are the two questions that they have. Obviously, they don't want to, if the market's not good for them, then they won't want to sell, right? That makes sense because they're not going to get top dollar. But it sounds like it's chugging along, and the sooner we close out this pandemic, things will get better pretty quickly, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are in the holding pattern. So if you don't feel bad if maybe 2 weeks ago you were thinking about selling and buying, now you are wondering, am I doing the wrong thing? But a lot of people are feeling the same way and doing similar things or waiting and see. However, there's always people who are willing to take more risks. So there are people who are taking advantage of every moment as an opportunity. So there definitely are tremendous opportunities there. As I mentioned, there are sellers who changed from hold to active because they see actually buyers are still interested and are still interested in making offers. So there are opportunities for the sellers. Equally, there are opportunities for the buyers as well. So basically for sellers, there are fewer people listing their home right now. So you don't have other competitions. And for buyers, similar thing. There are fewer people out there looking for homes now. So you have less competitions as well. So this could be a win-win situation for people who are motivated and ready at this moment.
Nice. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Minhua. And I think that's really good information, especially right now when I think we're getting bombarded with nothing but coronavirus. So good to know.
Yeah, absolutely. My disclaimer, I'm generally a pretty positive person, so I can't always put a positive spin on my own dire situation. So this is just my lens of how I see things. So I have burning questions as well. We even talked about to refinance my own home. I haven't pulled the plug yet for many different reasons. So a lot of us wondering, including myself, how low the rate will go. And when you hear Federal Reserve drop their rate, how does that affect the mortgage interest rate?
So my disclaimer, right, as you are, I cannot predict the future. Obviously, there's so many different factors that come into play to determine where the interest rate is. I can tell you right now, we're in a very unorthodox position where we have our mortgage-backed securities, moving up, which typically would indicate that rates would drop, but rates have not dropped. And because of the scare that's going on, the investors are a little nervous, and so rates are a little bit higher than you would imagine. So as far as how low the rates can go, I mean, it's really just how much investors are willing to purchase these loans packages. I guess right now the lowest I've seen was like on a 15-year was like 2.5% with a 2.5% APR. Just because, and that was at the lowest I've seen it, I think, ever. And I'm sure other people who have been doing this a lot longer than I have remember the crash in 2008. And I don't even know if it reached that level. So it's crazy. But we'll see how we do on the rates. But as far as the Federal Reserve cutting their interest rates, as we discussed before, and a lot of people can easily research, the Fed rate is more tied into short-term loans, credit cards, car loans, home equity lines of credit, not necessarily tied with mortgage interest rates. So, it could have an effect, but not a direct effect, right? So like obviously with that being cut, perhaps stocks and stuff like that might have taken a hit or improved or whatnot, and that could have adjusted the market and adjusted the rates. So yeah, just a lot.
Got you. So basically, if we are ready, we should actually contact a person instead of just keep waiting, because things can happen and rate might go up, rate might go down. It's not just Fed drops the rate automatically goes down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, right now we do have a lot of people that are still inquiring about mortgages, about refinances, about purchases, and what I'm noticing is, and not to scare people, because we're an equal housing, organization, and everyone, we want to always encourage everyone to apply, because it doesn't take it take as little as 3% down to qualify for a home. But I think the trend that I'm noticing right now on the mortgage side, which is probably way too much information at this point, has been it's been tougher right now for people with lower interest or lower credit scores to qualify, because I think mortgage company or investors are putting additional overlays on that. So, yeah. So yeah, that's.
I can understand that. I can feel, even though there are a lot of different local, state, even federal relief packets coming out in process. One we just heard, our senator bill is signed, but I can imagine everybody, including the lenders, actually are taking more risks. Employers, self-employed people, just because of the uncertainty. So I did hear this rumor that you touched on a little bit, that lenders are not quite willing to take new application for new purchase. Is that true? Or is there some truth in it?
So thank you for saying it like that. Yeah, so definitely the conversation that's being had a lot is that their investors are pulling out. Right, we're not going to obviously share any of those people, but there are investors out there who are unable to sell off the loans that they have because of the low interest rates and because of the volatility of the market, which means they have less money to lend out there, and so they're essentially they're not closing shop down, but they're being very particular on what clients they're actually accepting, which again, everyone's equal opportunity, lenders type of deal. So it's not, there are still solid rules in place that allows them. It's not like they're handpicking anybody. Obviously that would be a violation. So and that's not what we're doing, but they are as a whole, several companies have held back and are shut down processing temporarily, sporadically. It's nothing consistent. I think we had one company I'm aware of close down shop on a Friday, probably like at 10 a.m. just because they just hit their capacity. They just couldn't do it anymore, and so they shut it down. So it is something that's happening, but again, it's just to be very specific, it is not handpicking anybody. Right, they're accepting all applications, but when they hit their quota, they're sort of stopping at that point. So.
Gotcha. Thank you, Adam, for your insight.
Well, thank you, Minhua, for having me. Honestly, I'm really excited about this new project that we're doing. Excited and grateful to be on this project with you.
So this is our first weekly update for real estate. We are very excited. We believe knowledge is power, especially when you are making one of the biggest life purchase.
And we understand that, not everybody would want to post comments and stuff like that, but you may want to have additional questions and or a consultation. And at the end of this video, you will actually have our contact information, and it will also be in the description. So feel free to reach out to me or Minhua or both of us.
Bye, everyone. Stay safe out there. Stay safe, Adam.
You
Bye.
too. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.